Hey, and welcome to Discard. Today I've got 6 couch co-op specifically games for the last 3 iterations of the Nintendo systems, the Wii, the Wii U, and the Switch. Let's take a look. So starting off my couch co-op games list, I have 2 games for the Nintendo Wii. And they're 2 games that maybe you haven't heard of or maybe you haven't played. The first game that I have is Dokapon Kingdom. And Dokapon Kingdom is a fantastic couch co-op game. It could take weeks to play this game. It's a very long game. It's a game where your character is actually like as if it was in an RPG, but you're moving around a map as if you're in a board game. So it's like a Mario Party mixed with some sort of turn-based RPG game. And the entire time you're leveling up, you're getting items to make your person stronger, just like in an RPG. You're fighting bosses to take over these towns so you can make more money. And the more money you have at the end of the round, the better off you are. In the end, the person with the most money really wins the game. So it's kind of an amazing mashup of styles of games. And they have so many different things available in this game that it made it very hard for them to kind of balance this game. And there are some issues where one character can really be outdoing the other character, which kind of makes it so that other person doesn't want to play anymore. There's also some events in the game, like if you fight another person who's playing the game with you, you can decide to do things like put certain face paint on them, or change their hairstyle to like a toilet or something, or change their name to doo-doo. You could do all sorts of wonderful things to somebody, but it can make their gameplay experience kind of rough. So there are some ground rules you want to set before playing this game. I recommend playing some of the smaller modes to get a feel for it before you jump in there wholeheartedly, because I've known this game to actually destroy some friendships and relationships. But I'm telling you right now, it's a good game and there's no other play like it out there. I certainly hope you get out there and get a chance to experience it. The next game I have for the Wii after that is House of the Dead Overkill, which is actually a on-rails shooter where you go around and you shoot zombies and creatures that are coming at you or just ugly, and there's blood and gore and guts, and this is 18 plus people because there is stuff in this game that you do not want your children or anybody who's young to be playing, because it is pretty intense. There is lots of cursing, lots of visuals in this game that may be just a negative experience for some people. But I just recently played this game with my wife, and I sat down and I said, why don't you give this game a try? I think it'll be really fun. And she absolutely hated the looks of the game, hated, the style of the game. And I was like, just give it a round. We played for 1 round, and then 2 or 3 hours later, we weren't finished. We were running through these levels, having a fantastic time, laughing at all the hilarious talks between the different characters in the game. There's some really funny writing. The whole game is kind of like this Pulp Fiction-y style where there's some hilarious one-liners in there, and it's a really fun experience to go and play. And you don't die. You can hit that continue button and just keep playing. It's just forgiving as heck, and you just have a great time. So check it out. Up next, I have 2 games for the Wii U. The Wii U had a whole bunch of couch co-op games, and for the most part, Nintendo's got a whole bunch of couch co-op games. It's never left Nintendo. But the Wii U specifically did a really good job at making some of these games out there. And one of the best games that they've had was Hyrule Warriors. And Hyrule Warriors is a Musou type game, or a Warriors type game, or a Koei Tecmo type game. And Koei Tecmo worked with Nintendo to make this Zelda-style Warriors game where you go around and you kind of mash buttons and you fight enemies, and it's really simple and relaxing and can be really fun to do with another person. There are some decreased visuals in the game when you play 2-player, just due to the limits of the Wii U's hardware. But for the most part, it's a really fun experience, and you have so many different levels in this game. I mean, it could take you years to really complete everything that's available, and the majority of the things in the game that you have to do are actually rewarding. You get items from completing these different levels. You get certain rewards from doing so. So it's just a really rewarding experience to play with somebody, and you can kind of just save that game to play with somebody and have a really good time. Also on the Wii U, we have probably the best couch co-op game ever made, and that would be Pikmin 3. Pikmin 3 is a fantastic game where you're this little spaceman throwing these little Pikmin creatures around and picking up fruits, and and empty cans and stuff and bringing them back to base so you can make your ship more powerful. And it's a really fun game. But they have a fantastic multiplayer in this game where you can work co-op with somebody, and you can work to do that same thing, to go and kill monsters and bring them back to base and try to better your old score. Most of those matches for that particular mode are timed, and you want to get that time better and better. And me and my wife spent a long time making those scores better and better until we were platinum. And it's just fun every single time trying to get every little ounce of gameplay out of every single level. And they have a whole bunch of levels available to you. They also have another mode where you go in and you fight a boss with somebody else, and that's also really fun to go and revisit the bosses that you fought in the main game. I believe a lot of these levels were unlocked as we played the main game as well. And then there's the Nintendo Switch, a fairly new console from Nintendo. And one of the games that I've really enjoyed on that was Fire Emblem Warriors, and that's another Warriors type, Musou type, Koei Tecmo type game where you go out and you just kind of button mash and you take over, villages or you take over these areas in the game, and you try to take over that whole map and do a certain directive. It's a little bit more complicated than Hyrule Warriors was before, which I can appreciate. And it's just really good. They really made the co-op experience a lot better than it was in Hyrule Warriors. And the frame rate does take a slight drop, but it is a really fun game to play with somebody and just work through those levels and kind of communicate with somebody of how you want to go about doing a mission, and not really have to worry about it so much, because I mean, in the end you're kind of just hitting up some basic combos and moving through a level, and it's just a really fun time. And the last Switch game that I have is called Sniffer Clips, and Sniffer Clips was released early on in the Switch's cycle, and it is your two little pieces of paper, I believe, and you can go and you can snip the other one to make different shapes, and those different shapes help you complete different puzzles. You could use the different shapes to help turn a gear or hit a button or move a block or just make yourselves look like another shape that the game wants you to make. And just that kind of simple idea and the breadth of different challenges that the game gives you really puts your communication to the test and forces you to kind of create your own language for this game with somebody else, so that you can really snip to your best ability and make those levels go pretty quickly. But it's really ingenuitive, and it's really different every time you play it. I really enjoy that game, and I super recommend it for a good couch co-op experience. So when it comes to couch co-op games, there's no end to them when it comes to a Nintendo system. There's tons of couch co-ops always on Nintendo. They are just rocking it when it comes to couch co-op. A lot of systems seem to have forgotten about couch co-op, but Nintendo has stayed strong and kept it going. I think we'll have a lot more Switch titles coming in the future, and I'm sure there'll be some that are better than the picks that I picked. But for now, these are just two games that I picked from each of the systems, and I really enjoy and I keep finding myself going back to. So if you like this video, please leave a like. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. But otherwise, have a great day and collect what you love.